Mrs. Mankiran Chauhan. She's the MD of SAP Concor for the India subcontinent. As a managing director at SAP Concor for the Indian subcontinent, Mankiran is responsible for providing strategic direction to the company's India business, as well as leading and providing guidance to sales, solution architecture, customer development, partner alliance, and marketing teams. Mankiran is focused on helping customers drive digital transformation by leveraging cloud applications. Prior to joining SAP Concord, Mankiran was the managing vice president and country manager for India at Gartner. Mankiran, thank you again for joining us today to spend the next few minutes. I know how interesting this session is going to be, and I look forward to your insights about this interesting topic that we're going to today. Welcoming you again.
Thank you, Pavan. Thank you, Karthik. The world is one. I find those lyrics from the Elton John song to be such a fitting way for us to describe what our purpose is when we discuss gender diversity. Thank you, Pavan. Thank you, Karthik, for having me at this event. We know intuitively that diversity matters, but it's also increasingly very clear that it makes sense in purely business terms. Yet, we are here in 2020, and the progress in gender diversity has been very slow, and we're still nearly 100 years away from achieving parity. Thank you for having me, Karthik and Pavan. I'm very pleased to be a part of this conversation, and I hope this conversation goes leaps and bounds. And I'm very pleased to be releasing the report that you will now talk about, which really puts the emphasis on how the impact of this coronavirus or this lockdown or work from home is having on women. So,
International Alliance for Gender Studies. The core objective for us is to identify a relevance and focusing on women professionals. So we've published many research earlier, and that's been widely quoted in media as well. So where we published the first report on gauging the confidence index of women professionals. So that was a very unique research that we did. Our study on the POSH and its relevance in the Indian corporate context also was widely captured. So in the current scheme of things, we felt that remote working has become our new normal. So there are a lot of challenges which come along with that. So that's where we said, why don't we do a study to understand what's the impact of remote working on women professionals? And I would have loved to do a physical release of this report. But since this is the new normal, thank you, Mankiran, for agreeing to release of it. So I'll just play a short video which will give a insight into some of the key findings from the study.
Please play now. We're going to be talking about a very interesting topic in the next couple of minutes, and we have a elite panel from some of the leading brands to be a part of it, interact, deliberate, discuss, and see what is the view going forward as far as gender diversity in altered world. Now, the theme for today's panel discussion that we have picked up is very apt. And I thought that we should talk about something which in the current pandemic, obviously given that 2020 is and will be a critical year for women, gender equity, health. But the statement somewhat I felt was quite contradictory, and I think self-explanatory also, given that it's today's circumstances. Let me quote something very interesting from ILO, and I read that 195 million jobs could be eliminated globally due to the pandemic within a majority of sectors, predominantly by women. And what's more appalling is that despite women's participation in the corporate world, and also a very favorite topic in every technology forum or conference, organizations are getting far more serious about diversity and inclusion, and especially the last decade. But women, however, and like a lot of my panelists and Mankiran also pointed out, they're massively underrepresented in the top management jobs. And I think that's why it's time to revisit women empowerment in 2020 and beyond. So I will just take a minute to reorganize, get my panel in place. We'll also take a quick welcome my panelists for the day. And let me start with a very senior panelist, Nina Nair. Nina, thank you so much for joining us today on this panel. Nina Nair is the Senior Vice President and Head of HRD for India and the Americas at 24/7 AI. Nina, you're there. Thank you so much.
Yes, I am. Thank you very much. It's my pleasure.
Thank you, Nina. Nina oversees HR and learning and development across India and Americas side of the business. She spearheads the mandate to create a vibrant, people-centric organization across two distinct geographies and cultures. Now, as an HRD leader, Nina continues to play a very key role in shaping and developing the overall organizational agenda in the HR policies for 24/7. Nina has a very rich experience in the not-for-profit sector as well. Prior to her current association with 24/7, Nina was the CPO at the Indian Institute for Human Settlements. Nina also is an educationist, and she spent the last 16 years as a teacher before coming to this corporate world. Very diverse experience, Nina. Thank you so much. And I'm sure we'll have a lot of insights from you on this panel.
Thank you.
My next panelist is a business leader, Sheenam Ori from Dell. Thank you, Sheenam, for giving us your time and being a part of this panel.
Absolute pleasure.
Sheenam is the Vice President at Dell Digital, and she heads the Enterprise Data and Mobility Engineering. She also plays the role of the FPGA leader, CEO, and the chairperson for Women in Action chapter for Dell India. She's based in Bangalore, comes with 25 years of experience in various aspects of delivery, product management, testing, and leadership. Very versatile, very strategic IT leader, and experience in information risk management. She's had a track record of conceptualizing and delivering technology solutions that go with organizational needs. Sheenam has an expertise in diverse multicultural global teams, strong networking skills, and partner relationship management. At Dell, Sheenam is responsible for data and mobility engineering, and her vision to transform the IT delivery into what we call digital IT as a service business model using a combination of platforms, product, and services. Before Dell, Sheenam was with Infosys, SAP, Oracle. She's an ICF certified ACC and PCC executive coach, a certified lean and design thinking coach. She received several industry recognitions through her career. Most recently, she was awarded the Women Icon of the Year at GIWL Awards 2019 and the Global IT Leader of the Year in 2017 by IWLF. Sheenam, thank you again. Really look forward to this discussion with you. You will definitely bring in a lot of business insights, given that you balanced this role really great in the last 20, 25 years. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next on my panel is Panini Balaji of Allegis. Thank you, Panini, for joining in. A really pleasure to having this interaction with you.
Thank you, Pawan. Very happy to be here.
Right. Panini heads HR at Allegis Group, and she spent the last 17 years in human resources, both in India and abroad. She's been into full-time staff augmentation, both as an employee and as an entrepreneur. In India, she's led large recruiting teams and enjoyed challenges of fine-tuning delivery excellence across technology and sales positions at both mid and senior levels. The last stint where she did executive research, she led the research wing of Allergis in India. Currently, as the head of HR at Allergis in India, she impacts 5 business divisions, 6,000 employees across 6 locations. And she says it comes with a tremendous responsibility, and she hopes to deliver on that. Thank you, Panini. Really interesting to have you, given that you've seen this at close quarters when it comes to women hiring. And policy is something that I'm sure you will have a lot of insights on.
Thank you, Pawan.
Coming to my last panelist, Manjit. Manjit Mohan is the head of L&D at IIFL Group. Thank you, Manjit, for joining in.
Thank you, Pawan, and happy to be included in this panel of diversity.
Right. Manjit is the head of L&D at IIFL Group. Karthik Nagendra. Karthik is a serial entrepreneur with 15 years of experience across strategy, marketing, and HR, and has been in leadership positions in Wipro and Accenture. Thank you, Karthik. Interesting to have you here, given that Pinklight is doing a lot of work. And we will also have a lot of insights from you, given that you're working with a lot of organizations, setting up. Quick introduction about me. I've been in the HR, OD, and the learning space for the last 15 years. Had the opportunity to work with award-winning startups and corporates. We're working both as a service provider, as an entrepreneur, and as an HR professional. And one of the interesting things that I'm doing is across OD and learning, especially when it comes to women empowerment. We've been working with a lot of companies on behavioral aspects and how we can include those skills and competencies as a part of their daily learning. Can I call upon Nina and Sheena here, and let me put a very fundamental question ahead in front of both of you. Now, understanding culture is very important, considering how we might best approach the issue of gender parity and inclusion rights. What are your views on this, Nina?
Thank you, Karthik and Pawan, for inviting me to this panel. It's very nice to be part of this, and I'm sure that we'll have a really, really enlightening conversation, all of us together, as well as the audience. So I think by definition, by virtue of its definition, culture is about ideas, beliefs, about social behaviors, right, of society, of communities, of a country, and so on. By virtue of its definition, an organization is a group of people who work towards a set number of goals. Now, creating a culture is about aligning this entire group of people to a common set of goals. And this includes the individual's personal goals, and they are successfully achieved when the common goals of the organization are successfully achieved. Now, when this merging happens, when the individual goal and the organization goals comes together and merges together, the beliefs and the ideas come together, that's when a culture is.
I do want to thank all my panelists here, Nina, Sheenam, Panini, Manjit, and Karthik, for being a part of this very interesting panel discussion. I know we've just scratched the surface, but I also don't know that if you've cracked the code on something to do with what we kind of got together, in the last 3 weeks, discussing both one-on-one and as a part of this panel. But I do hope there is a long way ahead. And one of the things that we were all passionate to discuss was something around policy inclusion, policy sensitization, orientation, so on and so forth. And both Karthik and I, given our mutual interest in this area, we do want to look forward to at least the next 3 or 4 sessions in this financial year to bring in a very comprehensive view from different parts of the organization, different business leaders, CHROs, to look at what we could do when it comes to gender diversity. And we all know that it's not about having that 50-50% mix of a man and a woman, but I think it's just a fair representation, and we're all of us looking at it in a new lens. Given that it's just quite a new normal situation. So thank you again. It's been wonderful, exciting, and also overwhelming to have you all as a part of this panel. Really appreciate your time that you took to talk
Thank
to us and
you.
share your insights.
Thank you, panelists, and thank you, Pawan, for moderating this session so well. I know this conversation requires more time, so hence we will definitely look at going deeper into each of these aspects that we have touched upon today, because I believe having these conversations and amplifying the decibels around gender diversity is what is all the more important in this new normal. Thank you once again, panelists, for your time, and thank you, Pawan. So we will now be moving to our next step up mentoring session. So we already have our speaker, Purnima Menon, who is the CMO of Mar Labs.
As corporate employees, as entrepreneurs, homemakers, whoever you are, it's really important to be a part of showing up when it means to. And I think personal branding and being aware of who you are, it goes a long way. And each of us, I'm sure we know that we have a unique selling proposition like any other brand today across the globe. I want to take this opportunity to introduce Purnima Menon, our guest mentor for this Step Up Mentoring workshop. She's a CMO at Mar Labs. Purnima Menon is an award-winning marketer and also the executive committee member at Mar Labs, a digital solutions firm. She's played the CMO roles in the past with CSS and Microland. Now, with a career spanning 24 years, Purnima has worked with also Infosys, Tata Group. She's had an advertising still in Bates, one of the world's largest advertising agency. She's an amateur Kathakali artist and also featured on LinkedIn's top 15 must-know writers in 2016 and 2018. She's also authored a chapter in this book called Inside the Minds, a Thomson Reuters publication with articles from over 25 global chief marketing officers. Now, in 2019, Purnima also made to the list of 100 most innovative marketers by the CMO Council Asia. Purnima is also an avid fitness blogger, and I think believes, and it's so true, that a healthy mind and a healthy body, she says, makes you fit to lead. Fantastic, Purnima. Really interesting to have you on this one-hour workshop. Sure, there will be diverse things to hear, given that you spent most of your time helping organizations brand themselves, and I think it's important as individuals and employees to know what it means to do that when it comes to personal branding. Karthik, over to you. A few lines there about the mentoring workshop. What we do, what is the template, what are some of the takeaways that our participants will expect, and then hand over the virtual podium to Purnima to share her insights.
Sure. Thanks for the introduction, Pawan. So firstly, a quick background on the Step Up series itself. So this was something that we started at ThinkLad a couple of years back. Our idea was to make mentoring really impactful. And one route that we took for that was make it a very informal setup. So we used to earlier, in the good old days, do these Step Up sessions in coffee shops. So we used to block off small corners in nice cozy coffee shops, and we used to have a small group of about 15-20 women, and bringing in women achievers like Purnima. So we've had some very good mentors earlier from different companies, and it was almost like you're setting up an environment for an intimate conversation, one-on-one conversation. So we used to have a particular theme for each of the mentoring session, but ultimately, the conversations became a lot more intimate, and women started asking questions which really mattered, which extended beyond just the theme, which was kept, more so to see how do we break the glass ceiling and how do we move forward in our career ladder. So that's a quick background about the Step Up series. This is the first virtual Step Up series that we are doing right now. And, Purnima is our first mentor on the virtual platform. So welcome, Purnima, on that.
Thank you, Karthik. Thank you, Pawan, for that very elaborate read-up of my profile. When I sent it, I didn't realize that it would all get read out. So it was like a cringy moment for me.
Now people know why you were invited as the mentor for personal branding.
Thank you.
The bio speaks for itself. So just with respect to the format, what we'll do is we will just have a brief 5 to 10 minute context setting conversation between me and Purnima. And after that, we will throw the podium open for the participants to ask questions. So here it's more of the participants asking questions and not about me and Purnima having this conversation and me just asking a few questions. So what we will do is we will just touch upon a few aspects so that we are setting the context. We know what the aspects that we want to focus on. And from there on, for the next 30-40 minutes, we will throw the floor open to all the participants. Please don't be apprehensive on the questions that you want to ask. Please don't hesitate to ask any questions. Don't think, will this be a stupid question that I'm going to ask in front of everyone? Please don't have any such thing. There's no such question as a stupid question. All of us are here to make an impact on your careers, and we have an expert who's sitting with us who's been an achiever herself. So make use of this opportunity. Any question that you have with respect to your career development, not just restricting to personal brand, I'm sure Purnima will have insights that she can share, and personal experiences as well, because she's been there and done that. So please don't hesitate to ask questions. It could be anything, right? So make the most of the current session. So with that, we will get started with our quick fire round of few questions, right? So Purnima, how would you define a personal brand?
First of all, Karthik, thank you for having me on this session. I'm actually very delighted to be the first person doing an online session on this. Kind of reflects my own, I would say, my own thought process on building a brand online. But so thank you for that. Your question is, what is the definition of a personal brand? I guess different people have different definition, but for me personally, it is a conscious effort of an investment of my personal time to really build, I would say, mind share or mind space in. I want to influence, or I want to.
I think one of the participants, Hema, saying she's having a question. Yeah, Hema, please go ahead.
Hi, Purnima. Hi, Karthik.
Hi.
Hi, Hema.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, firstly, I would like to say, this is a great session and so much of learnings and a very, very interesting and very most important conversations we are having. So, let me just ask you one question. So I would like to understand, how do you negotiate with the key people in the organization, and what should one do to take their perspective seriously?
I didn't get the second part of your question. How do you negotiate with people in your organization?
How would they take her seriously? Is that
how would they? Okay, so Hema, may I ask, what do you do? What's your profession?
Actually, I'm working for Namdari's group. I work for group CEO. I work as an executive assistant to him.
Okay, and do you come across such situations in your day-to-day work where you have to negotiate a lot? And
yes.
Okay, all right. Very interesting. So negotiations, I guess, are a part of all our lives, right? Because we're all working towards a common purpose, but we all come with different mindsets. So it's possible that we all have different opinions, which sometimes tend to be in a give or take kind of a situation. I would say, without just sticking to the question that you asked, when it comes to negotiation or putting a counterpoint of view, the first thing that is very important is the facts that you have. Emotions typically tend to work less. I could be I could be particularly passionate about a cause, but that passion alone is not going to carry me through the conversation. I need to have facts. I need to have figures. And above all, I need to be able to put in certain points which are free and unbiased from an emotional standpoint. Typically what I have seen, and this is with me also, if you push me to the corner, then I get emotional, and there's all kinds of emotions which are surging up the surface. The facts are kind of going down. So it's a conscious effort to say no. That's one part of it. When you are in a negotiation, you are going to be free, unbiased. At the same time, you're going to bring in your own point of view, which has to be backed by a strong data. I think that is the rule number one for a good negotiation discussion to happen. Was that something? Did I answer your question?
Yeah, that's perfectly right.
Again, for taking time off for this. As a small token of our gratitude and appreciation on your behalf, we've sponsored the education and help for 2 physically handicapped children.
Thank you.
World Vision. So we will be sending you a small thank you note, personalized, that they've written.
Thank you so much. Thank you. And Karthik, first of all, apologies for the Zoom.
That's absolutely fine.
I'm so sorry about that. I know it was disturbing for some of you, so I really apologize. But I really had fun. I think some of the questions were right. Something that I honestly did not expect is forcing me to think. And I think I'm going to think, and if I have a different opinion, or if I have something new to share, I'll probably send it to you, Karthik, and you can share it.
You can
with folks.
Thank
you.
To circulate it with all the participants.
Thank you so much. Brilliant questions from all of you. Thank you.
Thank you.